Yippee! My dad got me a new microphone for Easter. No more tongue mic and hopefully better sound quality. Also, this time it's not my fault this video is late. My schedule got a little messed up and for some reason this script took me forever. Anyway, let's start. Hey kitties and kitten lovers, I'm Akushi, and from the 22nd to 24th of April, the first con in 2 years took place. The DeDeCo here in Dresden. This is my recap video, let's get started. First things first, what is the DeDeCo? The DeDeCo is a manga, anime and comics convention that debuted in 2012 and has taken place in February every year until 2020. Last year it was cancelled due to COVID, and this year it got postponed to April for reasons. But at least it took place. Every year I went, it took place at Messe Dresden, a popular event location, but it used to be at a school building for its first few years. Its name just means Dresden Convention and is deranged from the license plates cars from Dresden have. In Germany, every city has a different letter combination on their license plates, and for Dresden it's DD. The team behind the con loved this idea, but they didn't like the look of DeDeCo, so they added the vocals and created DeDeCo. Huzzah! Like other cons, they have a different theme every year, and this year's theme was yokai time, but my friends and I didn't do anything special for it, so I'm just mentioning this here. DeDeCo features all that stuff you would expect at such a convention. Like every year they had a dealer stand with merch booths and smaller artist tables that sold everything from stickers and books to plushies and dakimakuras. They had a food court which was embarrassingly small this year, just a hot dog stand, an incredibly overpriced bubble tea stand, a little bar, and a table that sold onigiri and other snacks like that. And they had way too less seats, especially for all the people that attend on Saturday. They had a crafting table where you could learn about EVA foam and warbler, a room full of sewing machines for some workshops and probably emergency cosplay repair, a games room, a bring and buy, a maid cafe, 2 stages, and a photo area that was also way too small this year. I don't know why, but for some reason they switched rooms and changed areas for some of these, and then closed off other areas that were usually open the other years I went there. Not the best decisions in my opinion, but who knows, maybe it's the location's fault and not something the team wanted. So let's get to the actual con experience. Some of my friends and I booked tickets for all 3 days, some others only weekend or just Saturday because it's the most important day anyway. My friend Nick stayed with me since he doesn't live near Dresden, so I drove us to the location every day and we always stayed together for the whole con. Also a little disclaimer, I couldn't film at the convention because I underestimated how overwhelming it would be. So all I can do is show you some photos we took there. Sorry about that. So Nick, Robin, another friend of ours, and I chose to do our new group cosplay for Friday, the shortest day, which turned out to be an amazing decision because we were all incredibly annoyed by our uncomfortable costumes and itchy wigs after a few hours. We cosplayed 3 of the main characters from the game series Deponia by the German studio DeDeCo Entertainment, my friends choosing Cletus and Rufus, and me being Go. If you don't know these games, play them or watch the playthrough, they're amazing! Despite all the downsides, we had quite a lot of fun and got recognized and stopped for photos way more often than we expected. I guess if you cosplay more niche stuff, people get way more excited to see you than with more popular cosplays, but I don't know, it's just a thought. Anyway, here are some of my favorite photos from Friday. First thing we always do at a con is strolling around the dealer stand and greeting some of our friends who have booths there. Then we got some bubble tea from the food court, because to me this is kind of a DeDeCo tradition, but boy was it disappointing. They only had 3 flavors of tea and 3 flavors of topping, charged 6 euros for a cup, and then it tasted absolutely average. I didn't even finish mine if I remember correctly. After that rather disappointing experience, we went to check out the bring and buy room. There were some tempting items there, for example a Harry Potter behind the scenes movie book thing, some Monster High dolls and some wigs, but we didn't end up buying anything. Even though it was Friday, the room was so incredibly crowded that you couldn't really browse in peace. So we returned to the dealer stand, and there I got my first and biggest con loot. Meet Chungus, the latest addition to my Raichu plush collection. I fell in love with him the moment I saw him, but I didn't buy him right away, because usually I don't buy something that big on the first day. I don't know why. But when we knew we wouldn't stay much longer, because we were all worn out, I at least asked how much he was, and he cost only 30 euros. So I changed my mind and got him first day. There were only 2 on the shelf, and I would never run the risk of missing out on such an enormous Raichu plush. I love him so much! And that's pretty much it for the first day. I'm on page 3 of the script. This is gonna be a long video. Let's continue with Saturday, the longest, most important and most crowded day out of the 3. Almost all of my friends were there, and we all wore fursuits, except for one who was part of another cosplay group, and our handlers of course. My good friend Lyric, whose fursuit finished just 1 week before the con, had their big public fursuit debut on Saturday, and we were all so excited. Most of our interactions were amazing, and 2 people actually recognized me from Instagram or TikTok, which felt surreal. We also got stopped for photos quite a bit and met some amazing fursuiters and cosplayers. We suited a lot, but we also took many breaks, because most of us don't handle crowds that well, and we all get exhausted pretty quickly. Then around 2 PM, we all went to the outdoor photo area and gathered there for the fursuiters meet. This little event takes place every DeDeCo on Saturday, and we met some really cool people there. But due to the burning sun above us, we kept the chatting as short as possible without coming off as rude, and got the group photo taken ASAP. Here it is. I love group photos. They make for some great memories in my opinion. Anyway, when all of this was done, our little group hurried back inside, partly because we all got boiled in our suits, and partly because we saw some people at the photo area we hoped we wouldn't see there. And I think that's it for Saturday. It was a long day, but we didn't do that many different things that would be worth mentioning here. I can't remember whether or not I bought something at the dealer stand that day, but I'll definitely show you all my con loot at the end of this video. Except for the plushie, it's mostly stickers anyway. Continuing with Sunday, this day started with my burning rage. You see, it was the only day out of the 3 we actually planned watching one of the show acts on the stage there. At 11 AM, a little play about Detroit Become Human was scheduled, one of our favorite games of all time. So naturally, when Nick and I were just 1 street away from the con space and would have had plenty of time left to check in and find our friends comfortably, we had to find out that they closed off said street to make space for a stupid, boring marathon thing no one cares about. We had to park right then and there, because driving back and taking an alternative route would have taken even longer than walking the last 4 kilometers by foot. And while we went there, hoping we would make it in time, I'm pretty sure you could see my burning rage just surrounding me like an aura. I was so pissed. It was the only day we had to be there at a certain time, and they didn't announce this blockage in any way, at least as far as I know. So we went and actually made it in time. Success! As we dropped down into our seats that our friends had saved for us, I was still so angry that I didn't even greet them properly, fearing that I could snap at them. So we just watched the play in silence at first, but after a while I started cooling down and eventually started commenting what was happening on stage, just like the others. The play had an interactive component like the game itself. Every now and then the actors would freeze and a Chloe would come on stage and give us 2 choices. We then voted for either of these possibilities by showing our phone flashlight. A pretty cool idea in my opinion, and my respect to the actors who had to practice and memorize all these different versions of one play. They pretty much just retold the story of the game, so I won't talk about that here. If you haven't already, play the game itself or watch a playthrough. Detroit Become Human is a masterpiece. After the play, we went to our little hiding place, an area under some stairs. We used all 3 days to get away from the crowds and take a break. When we arrived there, I of course apologized for my previous behavior, greeted my friends the way I would normally do, and explained our situation. They weren't mad at all, and they all agreed that such an important street shouldn't be closed off when a convention is taking place nearby. We then chatted for a while, planned out all the merch booths we wanted to visit and activities we wanted to do before the end of the day. During one of our breaks, I treated my friends to some hot dogs from the food court, which were absolutely delicious and definitely worth their price, unlike Friday's bubble tea. And during another break, our friend Max and his little nephew Linus came to visit us, which was the highlight of my day. Because Linus, a big Five Nights at Freddy's and Pokemon fan, gave me something that I had wanted for a long time. A Raichu card from the Pokemon trading card game. Look at it, it's so cute! He also gave me a few other cards that he didn't need, but the Raichu was my personal favorite for obvious reasons. Thank you again, Linus! The rest of the day was very similar to Saturday. You know, a fursuiting and taking breaks flip-flop. Not much else to say. This must sound like an incredibly boring convention, but I promise you it wasn't. Strolling around the con, checking out booths, greeting friends, and taking photos takes way more time than you would think. Also, if I explain it all in more detail, this video would get even longer, so I kinda stuck to the highlights and lowlights. You have my respect if you watch this till the end though. To close this thing off, here are all my favorite con photos that I didn't show yet. And here are the pictures of my con loot. Chungus, a bunch of stickers, some buttons, the Pokemon cards, and this incredibly cute acrylic charm of Celeste that I bought. Just look at her, she's so cute! I'll show all the artists' name on screen here if I can find them. I also bought a cute coloring book from my friend Widow Arts, which I can show you because I bought it for my little niece and I already gave it to her, oops. But it's amazing and she loved it. Phew! You did it! You sat through this mess of a video! Yay! But we can't forget the shameless plug at the end. All my social medias are linked in the description and my Etsy shop is open too. I would love for you to check it out and maybe you could add my shop to your favorites or even buy something, it would mean the world to me. In case you need a cool fursuit bandana, you've come to the right place because I just added some to my shop. Check them out if you'd like. Also, if you have ideas or wishes for future videos, please leave them in the comments. I would love to read them and I'll see what I can do. Yay! Now I guess all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Love you. Bye! I guess if you cosplay niche. I guess if you cosplay niche. I guess if you cosplay niche stuff, it's niche stuff. I guess if you cosplay niche stuff. I guess if you cosplay niche stuff, people get way more excited to see you than with more popular cosplays, but I don't know, it's just a thought. There were some tempting items there. For example, a Harry Potter behind the scenes book, some Monster High dolls.